When I first came, I was asked to come and see sick babies in the maternity ward, which is where they were. They would just room in, they would be in the same bed as the mom. And I would come in and I would maybe make some orders or open up a file on this baby. And then I would come back a few hours later and find that nothing had been done and the baby had passed away. And I would try to like non-judgmentally get to the bottom of it. Anyhow, really long story short, this happened over and over and over and over. And I finally went to the medical director and said, I can't do this. It's ripping my heart out and I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm not affecting any change. So he said, I think I know what it is. And we also had a meeting with the Malawans to try to get to the bottom of it. And really what it came down to was that their licenses were on the line if there was a maternal death. So if mom died in labor, the nurses knew there was a very good chance they could lose their license to practice and their livelihood. But there was no one doing audits on if the babies passed away. And that's very true. That was happening. So he said, why don't we open a neonatal unit and give you nurses dedicated just to the neonatal ward? And this was like a brand new concept. Nobody in Malawi back in 2014 had a neonatal unit. None of the big hospitals, none of the small hospitals. There weren't any country guidelines, nothing. So that was terrifying because I had spent only 2 weeks of my residency training in a neonatal unit. And what I had learned to do during that 2 weeks was very specialized formulas of how to calculate electrolyte changes for the baby's IV nutrition, just things that had absolutely no benefit to our setting. So somebody sent me a couple of textbooks, which were very instrumental. And we just wrote a bunch of protocols with a couple of pediatricians who visited for a few months. And we started the ward for 4 babies. As soon as the local health centers heard that we had oxygen and warmers and we could give IV fluids and phototherapy to the jaundice babies, we were like instantly overwhelmed. I mean, within a few weeks, we had a bed just lined up with 11 little babies lined up on this bed because our 4 hot cots that we had built were full with 2 or 3 babies in each hot cot. So we were like, okay, our needs assessment was totally wrong on this one. And so then we built a bunch more of these warming beds. And luckily, the hospital administration found money to give me even more nurses in the rotation because we just needed to have more hands on deck. And so slowly from that over the last, it also started in 2016. So over the 8 years, the ward has grown. We've had to move 3 times because we've gotten bigger and bigger. And we got to train the government hospitals for that first couple of years. And now the government's doing a great job and they're auditing us and they're coming and doing supervisory and they're doing machine donations to us. So there's a lot of support now from compared to 8 years ago. There's been a huge change. So that has been definitely the highlight. I mean, I love family medicine. It's what I am, and I'm here to teach. But yeah, literally every time I walk in the neonatal ward, my heart just explodes in joy.